is your girl Jenna, and we are doing my hair, y'all. Doing my hair. Huh? Well, she was in there talking about something else. That's what we gonna talk about. Welcome to everyone coming in. Hello, you guys. If you can hear me, you guys, tap the screen. Tap the hearts. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Who's gonna be the first person to say hello? I'm Jenna. How you guys doing? I gotta get ready to make my do my live videos, you guys, on my YouTube, you guys. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I can't be talking about people and my hair looking like this. You know, I probably have a hat on anyway. Welcome to everyone coming in. I'm Jenna. Where you guys from? I am drinking dandelion root tea. And we're going to start talking about what these teas are good for, you guys. We y'all to check out Beauty Tips, because Beauty Tips give you a lot of tips on wellness. Because if you're not well, that's not cool, right? So the tea for the day, what's the tea? Is dandelion tea, y'all. Okay, first and foremost, you guys, dandelion tea reduces water weight. Okay? It's a diuretic. Now, being that it's a diuretic, you're going to also have to drink water. But maybe you're not drinking water because you're retaining so much fluid and it's not allowing you to feel like you need some water. Even though dehydration, once you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. But dandelion root is good if you want to lose some excess water weight. And you'll know if you have a lot of water weight because your rings and stuff will be tight. Welcome in, you guys. Welcome in. It's a natural coffee substitute. So if you want to lower your coffee intake, maybe you can try some dandelion root tea. Alright, guys. So I'm going to put this over on Beauty Tips, and you guys can read that on your own. Babe, they ain't talking to me. I'm tattling. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna go and talk about that on the live over there. But I gotta fix his face up. Okay. They ain't talking. Facebook done put me in the darn silent watcher section. Oh, okay. That's all y'all be giving me are silent watches. Oh, did they push my other video? I'll wait until you get in here because I don't like repeating myself. Oh, yeah, it frustrates me. They did. Okay. They did. All right, babe. I heard you. They put me in the silent watcher. Why are y'all so silent? Y'all be acting like y'all shy. Why are people who watch shy? You're not on camera. I am. What's that about, big? But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put this over there, dandelion root tea. And admin, if you can put that over there, so that way they can. So that's what's the tea today. What's the tea today is dandelion root tea. It's the tea of the day. Hello, Miss Julie. Yay!
That was easy.
It wasn't easy. But we celebrate our commenters in this. We celebrate our commenters, y'all. We celebrate our commenters because our commenters helps our videos. Okay? We celebrate them. Hope all is well. How are you doing today? How are you doing? Who else is going to come in and speak to me? Hello, you guys. What are you guys doing this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day? Beautiful day, huh? Huh? You know I forgot to read my Bible, y'all. The devil is a liar. I'm going to read it. I am going to read it, you guys, because I can't even start my day without it. Let me see. I think I was on there. Okay, so we are in Proverbs 10, guys. Proverbs 10. These are the Proverbs of Solomon. A wise child makes his father happy, but a foolish child causes his mother to be sad. If you are not honest, your money will not help you. Let me read that again. If you are not honest, your money will not help you. But if you are righteous, it will save you from demise. The Lord will not let righteous people be hungry, but he will not let bad people get what they want. I read this yesterday, guys. If a man is lazy, he will soon be poor. But if he works hard, he will become rich. A wise man cuts his crops at harvest time, and he stores them. I have to say this, guys, because everybody is going through a little dip, if you will. I'm not going to say, financial problem or whatever, but we all go through dips, especially content creators. Dips, rise. Dips, rise. So when you on your rise, when you doing well, you want to what? You want to put up for a rainy day, because everybody will have a rainy day. This life is not going to be perfect every day, all day. And sometimes you have to have a rainy day to enjoy the Sunday. It's the sunrise, the sunny days. But anyone who does no work at harvest time brings shame. God blesses righteous people, but the words of wicked people hide their anger. Okay? It is a pleasure to remember righteous people, but when wicked people pass away, people soon forget their name. Okay? Wise people accept good teaching. Okay? Now, what this means basically when you just think about anybody you've known in your life, right? If they were mean, if they brought you misery, you ain't going to think about them. You always think about the people who brought you joy, whether they're here or not. So you want to be that person who gives joy to people. So even when you're not here in the flesh, people still sing your name. You be up there with God, We are made in his image. If people are honest, their lives, but that's just my take on that verse, okay? If people are honest, their lives are safe. But those who are not honest will receive punishment. Someone who deceives his friends causes trouble. So, guys, when the bill collector calls, I know back in the day, bill collectors used to call. Now we have cell phones. You can put them on block. But back in the day, you would say, tell your child to answer the phone and say, I'm not here. That is the day that you start to teach your children how to lie. You don't want to teach your children how to lie, because you're going to set them up for failure later, okay? Always good to tell the truth. Deal with the consequences. When you lie, you don't have to deal with the consequences right away because you lied. Tell the truth so you can deal with the consequences. Once you deal with them, guess what? Those consequences are there to tell you not to do that again. Okay? Ain't that right, babe? Yeah. He's not even listening. The teaching of righteous people gives life like a spring of water. Exactly. And that's why God is telling me to do this, because he told me. He said that I am dehydrated because I've been talking and doing all this stuff. Especially talking to people who don't talk back. That's something. That's teaching me how to do monologues. You know what a monologue is? It's basically just you talking. And that's what this social media is teaching me, how to do monologues. Because when I first started doing this, I had a lot more people commenting. But at that time, I didn't know how to deal with it, because people would comment anything. And I didn't know how to separate real from fake. But now it's like I do want people to talk. But that's okay. I'm learning how to have monologues, which is better, because they're great for replays as well. But the words of wicked people hide their anger. When people hate others, it causes arguments. but love covers all sins. People who understand what is right speak wise words, but silly people receive the punishment that they deserve. Wise people store knowledge in their minds, but when foolish people speak, trouble is near. Money keeps rich people safe like a strong city, but poor people pass away because they have no one to help them. Righteous people receive life as their wages. Righteous people receive life as their wages. Wicked people receive only punishment. People who listen when people warn them are on the road to life, but those who refuse to listen are on a different road. If you hate somebody but you try to hide it, you are telling lies. Guys, man says it's wrong to hate, but God hates things, guys. It's okay to hate. It's what you do. I mean, it is what it is right here. You're supposed to let them know, look, I don't like you. Hate is a harsh word, but it's not harsh in the Bible. It's real. If you don't like somebody, you don't like them. Don't even be around them. Don't even try to fake it, because it comes out. And if you say false things about other people, you are a fool. If you talk too much, you will soon do something wrong. Yeah. Stop talking so much, right? Stop telling all your business. And stop telling everybody else's business. But that's why I like commenting on stuff. I comment on what people do. I don't really just sit here and just talk. But if you are wise, you will stop talking. The words of righteous people are as valuable as the best silver. But the thoughts of wicked people are useless. The teachings of righteous people will help many people. But foolish people pass away because they are so not smart. This thing says stupid. Okay? You hear that, babe? He's not listening. If the Lord blesses you, you are really rich. So you got to know what are blessings and what not. Guys, don't let this fall keep coming in, keep coming in, keep coming in. Y'all guys got to get used to people just chilling and being on camera, reading and stuff. You know, I pay $15 a month for Audible to read to me. Somebody reading to you, that's a blessing. A foolish person is happy when he does wicked things, but a wise person enjoys doing things that are right. The trouble that wicked people are afraid of will certainly happen to them, but righteous people will receive the things that they want. When the storm has finished, wicked people are no longer there, but righteous people are still standing safely. Do not send a lazy person with a message. He will bring you pain like the taste of bitter wine or like smoke in your eyes. If you respect and obey the Lord, you will live longer. Not forever in flesh-wise, but longer. But wicked people will pass away before they are old. What good people hope to receive causes them to be happy, but wicked people never receive what they hope for. The Lord keeps honest people safe, but he punishes people who do wrong things. Righteous people will always have a safe place to live, but wicked people will not continue to live in the land. Righteous people speak wise words, but those who speak evil things will lose their tongues, y'all. That's what it says. Righteous people say kind things, but wicked people say things that hurt others. Now, I read that yesterday. I had to actually read Proverbs 11. The Lord hates traitors who do not use true weights. Don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. What does that mean, babe?
He hates traders that what?
Do not use true weights.
True weight?
He don't know what it means either. He is happy when they are honest and they use true weights. I don't know what weights mean. If people are proud, they will soon become ashamed. But if people are humble, they become wise. Good people are honest, and that shows them to the right way to live. But wicked people are not honest, and that destroys them. When it is time for God to punish you, money will not help you to escape. But if you are righteous, that will save you from demise. An honest man who is righteous has a straight path to walk on, but the sins of a wicked person will cause him to fall down. When honest people are righteous, that will keep them safe. But the bad things that wicked people want will catch them in a trap. When a wicked person passes away, he has no hope for anything good. Everything that he hoped hoped his strength would give him disappears. Everything that he hoped his strength would give him disappears. Righteous people escape from trouble. The trouble happens to wicked people instead. People who do not respect God says things that destroy their friends, but the knowledge that righteous people have keep them safe. When righteous people do well, everyone in the city is happy, and people shout with joy when wicked people pass away. A city becomes great when honest men bring God's blessings to it, but when wicked people give bad advice, they will destroy the city. So guys, I know there's a lot of people out here who talks and stuff like that, and there's so much information out here, so many, content providers. You have to have discernment who you listen to, because they can actually steer you the wrong way. When someone insults his neighbor, it shows that he is foolish. Oh, welcome in everyone. But a wise person stays quiet. If a person talks too much about other people, he will soon tell their secrets. And I'm in the business to talk about stuff, but I said, God has steered me to do a little bit more in his kingdom. And even if I do talk about celebrities and stuff like that, I'm just really picky on what stories I share. Because when you get into this word, you gotta, pivot, you gotta change, But someone that you can trust will tell your secrets to other people. So you gotta be careful who you tell your business to. A nation will fall if it has no wise leaders. That's true. But it will do well if there are people who give good advice. If you promise to pay a stranger's debt, you will be sorry. You will be safe if you do not agree to do that. A kind woman receives honor, but cruel men only get riches for themselves. A faithful person helps himself with good things, but a cruel person brings trouble on himself. A wicked person gets riches that soon disappear. So when you're looking at these people, and this is to me, you're looking at other people who are very much more higher in whatever, and they are doing things that are not right, you also see them come down as well. But someone who lives in a good way will surely receive good things. If someone continues to do what is right, he will live. But if someone loves to do evil things, he will not live long. But it just said he will pass away, y'all. The Lord hates people who have wrong thoughts, but he is pleased with people who live in an honest way. So even if your thoughts are bad, you got to get that together. He doesn't like that. He doesn't reside in having bad thoughts, you guys. Okay? Be sure about this. Evil people will receive the punishment that they deserve, but people who are righteous will escape. A beautiful woman who turns away from wisdom is like a gold ring in a pig's nose. Righteous people want good things to happen. Wicked people only hope to cause anger. Somebody may share his things with other people, but he will become rich. But he still becomes rich. Somebody else may keep the things that he should give to others, but he still becomes poor. If you help other people with your money, you will do well. So it's basically saying, don't keep everything to yourself. When you are blessed, you're supposed to bless others. If you give water to thirsty people, you will not be thirsty yourself. God got me. He told me I'm dehydrated this morning. And then, look, gosh. Oh, my goodness. Sometimes when you read this word, most of the time, all the time, it'll be just in time for you, babe. It will. If you give water to thirsty people, you will not be thirsty yourself. If you refuse to sell food to hungry people, they will curse you. But if you sell it to them, they will praise you. If you try to do things, people will respect good things. People will respect you. But if you want evil things to happen, they will happen to you. So if you want evil to happen to others, it'll happen to you. If somebody trusts his riches to keep him safe, he will fall like a leaf that falls from a tree. But a righteous person will grow strong, like a fresh green leaf. Anyone who causes trouble for his family will not receive any good thing from them. A foolish person like that will become the servant of a wise person. The good things that a righteous person does brings life. A person who saves people lives shows that he is wise. A person who saves people's lives shows that he is wise. Righteous people receive what they deserve here on this earth. so you can be sure that cruel and wicked people will receive their punishment. So don't worry about that. God has it all under control. Now I feel better and I can go and do my hair. Yes. So I'm going to tell you, since I was a little girl, right? Oh, this water. Look, I'm going to screen this in, y'all. There you go. Because my hair is wet. Since I was a little girl, when I was a little girl, I've been told to read the word. Oh, I want you to get into your Bible. That's what my grandmother would say. Oh, I want you to get into the Bible. And I did not get into the Bible until my 40s. Okay? Now, better late than never. But if I had to tell you, and I'm talking to all God's people, teach your children in the way they should go. Always teach them, when they start to know how to read and stuff, and even before, read the word to them. Because it will never leave them, and it will get them through some tough times. I'm so glad that I was taken to church. One of the best things ever. I told my husband this a few weeks ago about my mom, my mother, whom I only had for 13 years. Only had her for 13 years. But one thing she did for me that's still with me to this day is the fact that she had me in church. I don't have nothing else she gave me. And she gave me a lot. She gave me, every Christmas I had a good Christmas. She gave me some goldfish that unfortunately I suffocated by mistake because the fish tank had a crack in it. So I had put them in a bowl. And I was so afraid for them to jump out. I thought the goldfish was going to jump out the bowl. So I put a plastic top on top of it. Honey, I came home and it was like 10 fish in there, and a good 7 of them were gone. They were gone, belly up. Oh, my mother must have seen the hurt on my face. So anyway, I came home one day from school. She didn't tell me anything. I went in my darn room, and I looked over to this little place where I had my fish tank in it, and she filled the fish tank up full of fish. That was so precious. But she passed away not too long after that, and the fish went with it. But I had one fish left over that I took with me, and that fish lived a little bit. But anyway, before I had put that top on top of the darn goldfish, the fish they were with me for about 3-4 years. But I guess I had lost the respect for it or whatever, because I guess brief or whatever, or spiritual. The fish just left, when she passed. But anyway, I ain't got nothing else that she gave me but going to church. In fact, I was my childhood pastor that we all went, that was the church we went to. I had to seek her. I wanted to seek both of them because that was something that, reminded me, oh yeah, this is my mom's church, and they're online now. And so I listen to them to this day. Well, I listen to the wife. They're not married anymore, but I listen to the wife, which is awesome. So I guess I do still have a gift from my mother. The pastor that actually was pastoring when I was a young girl. Look at God. But anyway, that was the best gift my mother ever given me, was going to church. And so when we are out here in the world, and we all have our time, when we are out here and we scrambling in life and doing our thing and making all kinds of bad choices. I'm not going to say mistakes. They're just bad choices. You know what I mean? Because I think people just overuse words. And when you overuse words, it loses its meaning. And so we out here, and God is still there. He's there when you out here fornicating. He's there when you out here cussing people out. He's there when you out here having babies by different men or having babies by different women. He out here, he's still He's still there with you to get you through it because he has a purpose for you. I'm still trying to figure out what is my purpose. I'm getting it a little bit because the Holy Spirit is becoming stronger in my life. But I went a long time and I didn't know. And during that time of me not knowing, I made most of my mistakes, you guys. So I started doing this series called So Chanel about almost a year and a half ago. I'll say that. So Chanel Chronicles, which is about Chanel, So Chanel, whatever, a big, huge influencer on FB. And I started watching her during a tough time in my life. I was a caregiver, and so those times when she would go live all the time, I would just look and see her videos. In fact, when she had her business, when she was a clothing tycoon, if you will, I really looked at her and I looked up to her because I was like, I thought it was a man and wife, she had her husband there as well, and they were folding clothes and doing this and doing that. And I was like, oh, and I showed them to my husband. I was like, oh, this is cool. She was doing makeup. It was just what she would call a vibe, right? But then all of a sudden, stuff got dark. I just caught her during a good time, maybe a good time or whatever. It was just to get my eye. But then stuff started turning dark. And I didn't like when stuff was turning dark, because when you watch somebody enough, especially on the cell phone, it's different than TV, like BMF, or, Raising Kanan, or anything like that. You all know those are actors. This is a plot that people actually wrote, and this is fake, even though it might be based on some truth. It's still something for entertainment. But when you watch real deal Holyfield people like myself, or like So Chanel, or being Brianna, former Mrs. LaTruth, you know that these people are real people. So when they basically convey things to you, it's like a sister girl situation. It's like what you see them say, you want to imitate. When they cry, you cry. Like that song, when I cry, you cry. When they happy, you happy. Or if you a hater, you might be, when they happy, you not happy for them. It's real deal. So that's what happened. I gravitated to this situation. Why? Because as a mother, have several children, husband, beautiful home, huge audience. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a blessing to be able to have a whole bunch of people listening to you at one time. Thousands of people. I mean, she used to get 3,000 and 4,000. I think I'm over exaggerating. About 1,000, right? I haven't experienced that in years. I've experienced it back when live first came on. I had 2,000 people watching me shampoo somebody's hair, and I was like, whatever. I treated it like it was 2 people, because I'm like, this is my real life. I'm doing hair. Whatever. I'm not trying to impress a darn soul. But I didn't know the power of having that many people watching and looking at me. I don't know how many people I inspired to get their own hair salons, or inspired to grow locks, or inspired to do whatever, because I was showing this to so many people. I mean, back then I was telling people about different hair products. I was telling them how to take care of their hair, and I just thought I was doing a job. I didn't know that I was actually, what is it called? Influencing people. So that's why I started doing the So Chanel Chronicles, because I know that lady was influencing people to cheat on their husbands, influencing them to lie, influence them to be fake and phony and stuff. I just was tired of it. So God attached me to that story. However, you can't be sitting here breaking down people's comments, breaking down people's lives, and then boom, it not affect you, and not freaking look at your own life and say, well, sis, what are you doing wrong? Where can you improve? So this thing isn't so personal. It becomes like, oh, I'm just reading from the Word. So I started reading the Bible. And everybody got their story of what was their come to God moment? What was their come to Jesus moment? What was your come to Jesus moment? When did you say, you know what? It's time for me to do right. It's time for me to follow the Father. When did you do that? What's your story? You know? So I had to come back to Jesus. I was always with him and things like that. But for me to actually do this and it actually be within God's plan, I had to get into the Bible. I had to read it. And I read it like a book sometimes, meaning I go from chapter to chapter. I started at Genesis and I went to Exodus and Numbers and all that. And then I skipped around because some other things happened. And I had to go and I said, you know what? What is a book in the Bible that's going to help me with stress? So Psalms came up, so I started reading Psalms. Psalms is 150 chapters, y'all. 150 chapters. It literally took me about 3 months to read it because I literally go and I read about 1 or 2 chapters. One thing about Psalms, the chapters are very short. Now, when you get to like 100 and something, there's this real the darn thing is like the whole book put together in one verse. And I read that. But after that, it's back down to short chapters. So I would advise, like, if you are going through some stress, guys, I would advise you to go ahead and go from Psalms and go and read Psalms. Of course, read Genesis, because things that are happening in Genesis are happening now. You know, people think the Bible is from the past. It's really now. It's going on now. And things like that. So I would advise you to go ahead and read that. Even if you say, oh, I already read the Bible, read it again. You know, refer to it. It's helping me with my commentary. It's helping me with my life in general. All the things that I thought, it's like confirmation. It's like a book of confirmation as well. You get what I'm saying? You know, I woke up with this word this morning. God had put this in my heart. Holy Spirit, God the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. He had me break down in my mind parents. Parents. You break that down. Parents. Parents. So let's just take the parents. P-A. Pair to. Rents. Rent. Renting is very temporary. That's the word that I got. You renting them people, honey. We don't have them forever. We have them for an X amount of time, okay? Whatever amount of time you have your parents, we don't know. We pray that they live a long time. A lot of people don't get to see their parents, you know, live until they're in their 70s and 80s and possibly 90s. We really don't get to see that. My parents, my parents, the one who took the time out that day and boom. My mom passed at 34, and then my dad passed just a few years ago at 60, I think 62. So I didn't get to see my mother grow old, and I didn't see my father grow old either. He was older. But my grandfather, you know, who raised me, my grandfather, he lived until he was 96. So I was very blessed to see that part of me grow to be old and leave this world at 96. But parents are not going to be here forever. Okay? So that's why the best gift that your parents can ever give you, and if they didn't give that to you, then I'm giving it to you with this video, is the word. Because that is going to take you through tough times. It's going to get you through grief. It's going to get you through financial woes. It's going to get you through being confused. It's going to get you through dealing with Jezebel spirits. If you don't have the word, you're going to end up confused out here doing what the world does. Okay? And he who have an ear, let him hear. Y'all, the people who know what I'm saying, y'all know what I'm saying. The people who don't, you'll know what I'm saying later when you find out. Okay? So, like I said, that's the best gift I was ever given from my parents. Just like my dad, he said he kept a certain picture of me and my mother in his Bible, right? And what was so horrible is that, you know, he passed during this whole situation that we went through in 2020, unfortunately, you know, and my dad, he was kind of wayward all the time. So my dad had to be kind of slowed down through his health for him to come back home, see his daughter, his parents. And we had him for up until 2020 because he left back in 2010. He was doing this thing, don't know. But he came back like the prodigal son. The prodigal son, I think, is the son that went off and had to come back home. Something like that. I don't know. But, and that's it about. And so he came back, and my husband and I, we helped him. In fact, we helped him get into some kind of not assisted living, but like, you know, a place for people to live that are older and all that. So we finally got him in there, and he called it his castle. And he lived there for 3 years. Now, during that time, I did not have time to really be with him, because I was a caregiver for my grandfather, the one who raised me. So I had 2 dads, 2 fathers. And whatever my father wasn't able to do, my grandfather was able to do. This is all biblical, by the way. Meaning this is just a blessing. I was a blessed person because I was able to have 2 great fathers. Some people don't have one, or they don't know their dad for whatever reason. And so with that being said, I had a great grandmother too. But we lost him in 2020. But one thing he did was he used to say, oh, he prayed. He would say, oh, I asked God to get my daughter to call, and you call. And sometimes he would just break out in tears, like so happy that his daughter called him. I had a rule. I was like, I'm not going to just like allow my life not to talk to him at all. Hold on, y'all. Because I knew he was emotional. We were attached. We looked just alike. I was his daughter. Unfortunately, he was blind. Diabetes took his vision. So I had to deal with that. Of my father he didn't like to be called blind. He called it visually impaired. So I'll say that. He was visually impaired. Because calling somebody blind is actually very disrespectful. Okay? Because just because you may not be able to see with your physical eye, your spiritual eye needs to be on point. In fact, there's a lot of us who go around and we can see with our physical eye, but our spiritual eye is dead. You know what I mean? Right? And that's why we just make all these mistakes. But he too loved the Lord. He kept my picture in the Bible with my mother and stuff like that. And so he was a biblical man. My grandfather too, before he passed or whatever, he was very ill with dementia. And one day he said, all I want is one more day. And we heard him say that. And I was like, oh, I was so petrified for my 96-year-old granddaddy to leave this earth. Because he was just somebody that was with me for 40 years. And I just couldn't understand or get that around my head that this man was about to leave this earth. So anyway, he asked for one more day. He wasn't asking me for one more day. He wasn't asking my husband for one more day. He was asking God for one more day. And God granted him 14 more months. Did he not?
He did.
So, all my parents left me something to know that God is the one who is in control. It's just beautiful to have a relationship with God and allow God to just get you through your life. Now, I'm going to tell you, you have pain. Like I said, parents are temporary. Enjoy your parents while they are here, if you're able to. Now, if your parents got Jezebel spirits and all that, we get that. You can't be around them. We get that. But I'm talking to the people who do have their parents. Value them, okay? And get as much knowledge from them as possible. You hear me? Get as much knowledge from them as possible. But whatever knowledge you ain't able to get from them, of course, you need to go to the Bible because, honey, Proverbs will get you right. Psalms will get you right. Genesis will let you know what the heck is going on now. I don't give a darn what's going on now. You can't sit around and be like, oh, it's okay. This things people are doing today, it is not okay. And this is just a word that I'm having with you guys, because everybody don't have parents who know the word. So it's still your job to go out here and do the right thing. Just because they don't know the word don't mean it's okay. Oh, my mother was this, and this, so therefore I'm going to be this, and this. No. What they did is what they did. And if you don't want their sins to follow you, then you don't want to go ahead and do what they did. That's how they follow you. You know, a lot of the things that our family's gone through, or anything you've gone through that might have been horrible, is demonic. It's demonic. More than likely it happened to your mother, and it happened for generations. So you have to stop it. You got to say the buck stops here. Oh, this might have happened to me, but this ain't going to happen to my child. You know what's another demon? You know, demonic, like teen pregnancy. If you notice, like sometimes the mother had her baby at teenager, like Fantasia even said. Her grandmother had her mother at a young age. Her mother had Fantasia at a young age. And then Fantasia had a baby at a young age. So it stopped with Fantasia. Fantasia prayed. Her mom, grandmother and all that was a pastor and all that. And they prayed so it wouldn't happen to her daughter. So her daughter is a grown woman out of her teens, and I don't think she has any children. We have to stop it. It's not cool. Now, we stop it by just getting into the word and understanding that that is demonic. And I'm talking about anything. I'm not going to say the words, because y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to spread those demonic words, but you know what I mean. You know, even like eating bad food. Who's that eating that nasty food? Nasty boys. You know what I mean? Who's dancing to my nasty groove? Nasty boys. I thought that song was silly, but I get it. She said, "Who's eating that nasty food?" She was trying to tell y'all. I'm talking about Janet. She's trying to tell y'all that food is really what's getting to us. You get what I'm saying? They say, "Oh, it runs in my family." Diabetes, high blood pressure, infertility, mental whatever, all that stuff, it runs in the family. No, habits do, right? Habits does. So if you go forth and you exercise better practices, those things don't have to necessarily happen to you. Don't accept that. That's all I'm saying. Your girl got to get this hair done and do all of this stuff. But, you notice we ain't got nothing from our childhood. Them clothes your parents bought you and all that. You know I haven't gotten one. Actually, I did get one comment. Y'all. I did literally get one, and it was a hello. But hey, I gotta get this off my chest. It is what it is. It's like my diary. I always wanted a diary as a child, but my mind was not settled enough to write in it. And thank God I didn't, because diaries, man, I remember some leaflets in my diary. It was all about bad stuff. And then look, you lock it up so nobody else can see it. I said, man, now I'm thinking about that. I'm like, that's devilish. Because some of that stuff in the diary needs to be out in the open. You know, your parents need to know, oh, you having certain thoughts or you doing certain things out there. If they know that, they can help you. You feel me? So when you keep stuff private and locked up, who can help you? But see, that's the thing. We got to have discernment out here, because the flesh, regular people, you can't just tell your business. So God knows everything. So if you talk to him, he gives us a gift called the Holy Spirit. He gives us a gift called discernment. He gives us these things so we can get through life and navigate. You know, like these type of videos, none of my videos, to be honest, they don't trend. And I still do it. Why do you think I still do it? It ain't because of any outer gratification. It's because I'm doing God's work. That's what we doing. We doing God's work. And he has a lot of work to be done. I can't do all his work. You know, somebody got to see my video and be like, oh, what can I do? I see her doing this. Let me see what I can do to share amongst whoever is on my page or whatever, or in my family. You know, but my calling is to talk about wellness. You feel me? That's my That is my calling, to talk about wellness. Mine, see, I used to just talk about the physical wellness. Physical. Things that you can see on the outside. Then God got me to understanding that the spirit drives the flesh. So if you spiritually imbalanced, okay, guys, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. I might be recording this here, but it may not stay up here because this is some real tea. And I like to put it over on YouTube because they don't really support me over here per se. And that's fine, you know, it is what it is. You feel me? But make sure you are subscribed to What's the Tea on YouTube. Make sure you are subscribed to TT. I have respect for these different platforms, so I don't say the names, but y'all should know what I'm talking about. And we about to put this thing up about dandelion root tea because it's very important, you guys, for us to get into some herbal therapies, like herbal remedies and stuff. That's my calling from my childhood. Literally every parent, I had 4. My grandparents actually had 5. I didn't get to meet my original grandmother, but my granddad's 3rd wife was my grandmother, and she raised me. See, granddaddy, he went and I guess he had to keep getting married, but all his wives were going. And I looked at that too. That was a demon, because his wives kept going and he had to keep living and not have a wife. And so his 3rd wife had passed, and that was my grandmother. And then my husband and I had to go in and help out. And she had a son too. Her son actually helped him out too. I can't forget that. But that was a demon. A demon that was probably needs to be prayed off of the family of not having long marriages, you know. And so that's what I want you guys to look at, different things in your family life, and you see, oh, my mama went through it, my daddy went through it. Oh, it's a demon over the family that needs to be released. That covenant that's been made with your family line, you have to break that. And I got that information from Prophetess Tiffany Montgomery. It says in the Bible you're supposed to give credit where credit is due. You know how you say give credit where credit is due? That's actually biblical. And if you don't do that, you get in trouble. You can't take other people's work and call it your own. That's stealing. And it's in the Bible. You gotta look it up. When Prophetess Tiffany, when she said that, I was like, oh, wow. You know, I always give people credit. Not because I want credit, but because I feel like that's what I was taught. You give credit where credit is due. Well, Prophetess Tiffany Montgomery, and that's Tiffany, Tiphani, but you can put her name up in FB, YT, TT, Insta, everybody, everywhere. That lady everywhere. She got a huge audience. I mean, millions. Girl, she even has a thing called Millions. But she said basically all that stuff that was happening to your family and all that is a covenant that was made decades, millions of years ago on your family line that nobody knew about. And so it kept going and going and going. It kept, being in the family, if you will. So if you listen to this now and you're like, oh, the spirit of whatever, I can't say the words, you guys, because they're disgusting words. And I don't like those words because we give them life. But you know exactly what I'm saying. If you find that has happened in your life and it happened in everyone else's life too in your family, then it's definitely it's demonic anyway. You got to pray it off. You have to say, God, break that curse. Because only he can do it. We can't do it. You have to ask God to help you break the curse. And that's anything. Even people who, you name it. I can't even say it. Okay? You name it, y'all. Like Shirley Caesar said, you name it. You name it. It is definitely a curse. Obesity, I can say that. Obesity is definitely a curse. Not getting married. All this Prophetess Tiffany taught me. Not getting married, that's a curse. Single parenting. Having multiple partners and all that. That's a curse. Because that leads to, the wages of sin is to get up out of here. You feel me? That's what the Bible says. Oh, that's not what Jenna said. That's what the Bible said. There's so many things. Not learning your gifts. Not learning your purpose. That's a curse too. You know how many people on this earth and they don't know why they're here and what's their purpose? You do know that, right? Guys, this is going to be a part 2. Oh yeah, it's going to be a part 2. I'll see y'all.